Welcome to the Shit Slinky Made Me Watch. I'm your host, KC, here with another shitty review about shitty horror films recommended by that sumbitch Slinky. Here to talk to you about Microwave Massacre. It was released in 1983 and had a budget of around $70,000 to $80,000. This movie opens up with a shot of this microwave and a severed head, and then a little bit of time goes by, and you get a close up of this girl that's walking on her tits, basically, and you get to see the title of the movie. So it basically jumps right into it. I did like that, how it wasn't like dragged out with like 5 minutes of opening credits before you see the title. So that was nice to see. And then we end up having this creeper that grabs this girl's ass, and then basically like her tits fall into this like wood that's at this construction site where it's like a hole cut out, and basically her tits fall into this hole, and basically looks like they were like meant to be there. Eventually, her whole top ends up coming off, and a couple of the guys that are there on the job site like get all excited and like start running really fast over there to her. A lot of comedy and stuff like in this movie. Um, some of it's pretty stupid, but this was all right, I guess. I mean, who doesn't like tits? After this, we meet our main character, and basically he's having lunch there at the job site, and he takes out his sandwich out of his lunchbox, and his wife makes his meals, but it seems like she either hates him or wants him to die. I don't know exactly what, but on the sandwich it's like this gigantic crab on bread. It's like not crab meat; it's like a whole fucking crab. So that was just like a little ridiculous. Once he gets home, he ends up having an argument with his wife about the kind of food that she's been making for him, and everything that she's been making has all been microwave just crap, and he just wants something better. And she basically like turns off the lights in the kitchen because she wants to build up the atmosphere or whatever for the dinner, and comes over there to light something like a candle, but ends up lighting this whole like lamp on fire on the table. Um, it was just ridiculous. I mean, this lady is just out of her mind, and he needs to like just leave her or something. After this happens, the wife ends up complaining about how she's been slaving over all this food, and everything's been cooked in a microwave, so there's no slaving there involved. It's just stick it in the microwave, hit a button, and basically the husband ends up just losing it, and like just starts tearing up the whole living room, throwing shit everywhere. He even ends up taking a piss on the floor. It was pretty funny, but the wife did not like it at all. And after all this goes down, he ends up beating his wife to death with a salt shaker. I just thought that was kind of cool and funny, just because I've never seen anybody use a salt shaker as a weapon in a horror film before. So that was interesting to see. The next day, he wakes up with like no memory at all about like what happened. I guess because he was so drunk from the night before, he's just like really hungover, and you get this shot of him standing next to this microwave, and this microwave is so big it like looks like it could be an oven, but it's even bigger than an oven. And he starts to try to like think about where his wife is, and he opens up the microwave, and she ends up being inside of it, and he doesn't like freak out at all. It's just like a normal okay thing that now his wife is dead and in the microwave. A little later on, he ends up cutting his wife's body up, and then basically it's like wrapping each piece up in aluminum foil, and then sticking her up inside of the freezer. Um, I guess to save her for later for lunch or something. At this point, he hadn't eaten anything yet, but eventually he does watch some type of it was like news or some TV show or something like that. Basically, where it explains like to get rid of the evidence, the only way that you'll ever get away with it is if you eat all the evidence, because your stomach acid will just melt everything away. So he ends up starting to eat his wife, and not the way she likes. Oh, damn! I guess it's time for the shit break. Now, the shit break is basically where we take a small break from the show to let you, the fans, get your thoughts or comments on the show. And all you have to do is comment on the discussion thread in our Facebook group, Horror After Midnight. You will get your thoughts on the show. Other than that, we do have a weekly giveaway meme contest. All you have to do is make up a meme about this week's episode and post it in our Facebook group using the hashtag shitbreak, and you'll be entered for the contest. For the discussion thread, Erica Shell says that she loved it. Aaron Garcia, he does say that the voice of Frosty the Snowman was the main person. And I did catch on to that while watching the movie. It definitely sounds like Frosty, and he's out here killing hookers. It's an awesome thing in a shitty way. And then we had Stephen Corso. He says that this movie was truly hilarious, and the concept was also worth the movie. Yes, this movie, I will agree, does have a lot of funny parts to it, and being then just the voice of Frosty out there killing hookers and just all kinds of craziness and eating people. It had its funny moments and whatnot. I will agree there. But make sure you get your memes in about this week's episode so you can be entered in for your chance to win all kinds of great things from the channel using the hashtag shitbreak. Just make up a meme about this week's episode. Now, let's get back to the show. He ends up cooking his wife's different body parts and taking them with him to work, and his coworkers are like, "What are you eating?" And they end up like trying the arm or whatever. It looked like a rib or something, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be her arm. And at first he's like, "It tastes good, but it tastes kind of dry and old." And that's like a little hint of humor because his wife was really old and just dried out. Um, that was kind of funny to see. The next night, he ends up picking up a hooker and then taking her home and having sex with her and then killing her so he can eat her to basically get rid of the evidence. And this is something that continues on throughout the film, like one hooker after another, and even this one lady that's dressed up as like a bird or chicken or whatever. But yeah, basically, it's just that goes on throughout the rest of the movie for the most part. It's kind of funny because you can hear Frosty the Snowman. It's exactly who it sounds like the whole time you're watching the movie. And he's out here banging hookers and killing hookers and eating hookers. So that was, I mean, it was kind of funny. But overall, the movie could have been a lot better. He ends up going to a drive-through with a couple of his friends from work and starts ordering. And when he does, he's not ordering food. He's like telling the girl what she needs to be doing, like unbuttoning her blouse, raising her skirt up, sticking her tongue out, and then he also wants a Coke to go with it on the side. I was pretty surprised the girl actually did it. That was kind of funny to see. There was another pretty dumb scene, but funny as well. He's basically like daydreaming about making like a naked chick sandwich with mayo and bread, and then he like cuts it in half, and she's like screaming or whatever. It was interesting, something different to see, but very stupid and just outrageous. After going to see a therapist, he basically explains to the doctor there that he can only have sex if he eats the women. And the doctor, I guess, didn't take this like literally. He thought it more of like a oral sex type thing, and he just thought it was like the greatest thing in the world, like to go ahead and just keep doing what you're doing if that's what's making you happy. So that I thought was kind of funny, just because the doctor just it didn't click that he was actually eating these people, not just like giving them oral sex. It was pretty damn funny. After tying up his wife's sister in the closet and just leaving her there for a while, he like jammed a hoagie roll into her mouth. And I guess over time, or her just being in there, the entire thing turns like this bright green color. And I thought it was just kind of funny because it's just like I wasn't expecting it, you know. He sticks it in her mouth and it's perfectly normal. And like a day later, the whole thing's molded out, and he just leaves her there. And for some reason, he doesn't want to eat her, so he doesn't want to kill her. This movie all around was pretty boring. It had a lot of like funny parts, a lot of tits in it, and that did help it out some. It had some funny scenes, a lot of dumb shit. For this one, I give it 2 shit stains. Case says check it out. It's available on Amazon Prime. I'll be back next time to talk to you about Llamageddon. I'll see you guys next time. As always, stay classy, folks.